Are you looking for some Irish songs with actual Irish lyrics? Well, I have a few for you, ranging from some proper heavy Irish songs, seeped in history from over 500 years ago, and others that are a bit easier to either learn if you're wanting to sing them yourself, or just easy to listen to if your Irish isn't as well polished as you'd like. I'll admit it, I am a prime example of the state of the Irish language throughout the last century. I'm an Irishman who knows far more Japanese than he does Irish. I does be a little bit ashamed of myself there now, I'll admit it. But I made a New Year's resolution to myself to try and learn a bit more this year, so that you guys would stop trying to tear me a new one on. I try and pronounce specific place names in Cork. There's only so much humiliation a guy can take, like. But look, I'll open myself up for a bit of laughs at my own expense here. Here are 5 great Irish songs you should listen to, with links to, in my opinion, the best performances of each of them, and a bit of history behind each one as well, to hopefully give you a bit more insight into where it came from. The iconic song Óró Sé Beidh Bhaile underwent 3 radical historical transformations. The melody itself feels familiar. It closely mirrors the 19th century sea shanty Drunken Sailor. In its earliest incarnation, the song anchored a hauling home, a traditional Irish ceremony celebrated a month after a wedding when the bride officially relocated to her husband's house. The original lyrics relied heavily on the welcoming chorus, affectionately declaring, "I'd rather have you than 100 milk cows." By the 1745-1746 Jacobite Rising, the song assumed explicit political weight. The verses were adapted to welcome Bonnie Prince Charlie. This iteration envisioned the Catholic royal arriving alongside French and Spanish troops to dismantle English rule and restore the monarchy as well. In the early 1900s, nationalist poet Padraig Pearse completely overhauled the lyrics to ignite a spirit of Irish self-reliance. He stripped away the Jacobite references to foreign saviours, installing a very different protagonist, Gráinne Mhaol, the formidable 16th century pirate queen. Pearse explicitly declared her warriors were Gaels and neither French nor Spaniard. Pearse calls his version Dord na Bhíon, Call of the Fighters. It worked. During the 1916 Easter Rising, Irish volunteers sang it as a fast march right inside the GPO, a visceral rallying cry that echoed through the subsequent Irish War of Independence. Today, Pearse's rebel iteration remains the definitive version of the song. It has been immortalised through enduring records by legendary artists including the Dubliners, the Clancy Brothers and Sinead O'Connor. Beidh Aonach Amárach, or There Will Be a Fair Tomorrow, is a classic Irish folk song set in a busy market town in County Clare. Now, if you have any young kids and you're fed up of hearing Baby Shark or all those weird songs kids go mad over on YouTube, right? Compare Baby Shark with this one. It's ridiculous. I never thought I would say that. I don't think anyone has ever said that. But anyway, look, this song was one that was taught to me back in primary school. And it is like apparently a popular one for getting young kids to learn how to speak and for beginners trying to learn Irish as well. The whole song captures a relatable standoff between a young girl and her mother. The girl desperately wants to go to the fair the next day. She knows that her mother will probably say no, but she begs her anyway. Her mother stands her ground, telling her to stop asking. She reminds the girl she's only 10 years old, or 11 or something, and she'll have to wait until she turns 13 to make her own decisions. The real reason the girl wants to go? She has a massive crush on the local shoemaker. Did you have a crush on the local shoemaker when you were younger? Let us know down in the comments. She tells her mother she would rather marry the cobbler than any army sergeant covered in gold bands, arguing that plenty of women marry young and live happily with a tradesman. Nobody knows exactly who wrote the song, but its musical style goes way back. The structure points directly to the troubadour traditions of 12th century France. Legendary sean-nós singer Joe Heaney had a much more practical explanation for the girl's intense crush. He claimed that in the original context of the song, the young girl didn't actually own any shoes. She was completely captivated by the cobbler, simply because she saw his beautiful handiwork and desperately wanted new shoes. Though it is a staple in Irish childhood education and a popular tool for teaching kids, and me, the language, it remains a favourite in traditional music. recorded by Alton in 2000 and John Spillane in 2008. So there's a few to add to your playlist. So I've got links in the description for that, along with links to all the other songs in this video. Ghile Mear translates to My Gallant Darling, written in the 18th century by poet Sean Clorach MacDonald. The song emerged directly from the ashes of the 1746 Battle of Culloden. It is a classic Irish Jacobite anthem dedicated to Prince Charles Edward Stuart, better known as Baldy Prince Charlie. The Irish had banked on Charles to reclaim the British throne. His crushing defeat and subsequent escape shattered the hopes of the Gaels. The song takes the form of a traditional lament, or cinu. It reads as a heartbreaking love song from a woman who has found no rest or joy since her hero, her Caesar, went away. The grieving woman is actually Ireland itself. The lyrics tap directly into the ancient Celtic myth of sacral kingship, where the land's prosperity physically depends on its symbolic marriage to the rightful king. With the true king exiled, the nation mourns its lost sovereignty. In the 1970s, legendary Irish composer Sean O'Riordan and poet Donal O'Leahan brought the track back to the forefront, reviving it with a powerful choral arrangement. After Sean O'Riordan's death, the song, when now performed by his choir, Corcula in particular, honours him, essentially replacing Bonnie Prince Charlie in the song. When we're talking about the versions that you should listen to today, the absolute number one is the Choral Scholars of UCD. But there is a ton more, like from legendary acts like Mary Black, Clannad, the Chieftains, who recorded a popular version with Sting as well. So I'll have links to all of them in the description too. Siúil alternates between English verses and an Irish Gaelic chorus. So if you wanted a blend of both languages, this is the best song for you. And as it's fairly normal with a lot of these folk songs, nobody really knows exactly where it came from. At its core, it is a raw, desperate lament from a woman watching her partner leave for military life overseas. The lyrics capture the sheer panic of being left behind. The woman states she will sell her rock, reel and spinning wheel, essentially signing away her livelihood, just to buy him a sword of steel. Then the song takes a darker, more desperate turn. She claims that she will dye my petticoats red and beg for bread around the world to follow him. There were a few theories around this line here. The only women officially permitted in army encampments during this era were prostitutes, who often wore red to denote their status. The real history behind this heartbreak points directly to the 1691 Treaty of Limerick. Following the Williamite War, Catholic Irish soldiers were banned from fighting at home and forced into exile. Over 20,000 men fled to join armies in France and across Europe in a mass exodus known as the Flight of the Wild Geese. The song explicitly references these exiled mercenaries, noting her love is heading to France to try his fortune to advance. This specific tragedy resonated for centuries. James Joyce featured the track in Ulysses, and the melody even crossed the Atlantic to become the American Revolutionary War anthem, Johnny Has Gone for a Soldier. In modern years, the song's cultural reach extends far beyond Ireland, inspiring the title of the Japanese dark fantasy anime, The Girl from the Other Side, and even sparking a 2022 Ukrainian adaptation that resonated with the military struggles of the Russo-Ukrainian War. In the early 1950s, folklorist Alan Lomax captured a raw recording of traditional singer Elizabeth Cronin. Her performance became the absolute blueprint for the song.
I were on yonder hill, that is where I'd sit and cry my fill, and every tear would turn mill, asking thee to morning slan. Siúil, siúil, siúil.
But the one for me that stands out the most is performed by Onuna. Links in the description to that song. I highly recommend you listen to that, but more than likely you've heard it already. Róisín Dubh translates to Black Rose or Little Dark Rose. The song dates back to the 16th century during the reign of Elizabeth I, emerging directly from the brutal conflict of the 9 Years' War. The track was born in the military camps of the chieftain Red Hugh O'Donnell. The title explicitly references Rose O'Neill, the daughter of the Earl of Tyrone, who was betrothed to O'Donnell in 1587 before their divorce in 1595. While scholars debate exactly who penned the lyrics, some point to the 17th century poet Owen Roe McWard, others to an unknown minstrel. They agree on its evolution. The political anthem we know today grew out of an older fragmented love lyric. Róisín Dubh operates as like a musical Trojan horse. It reads as a desperate, impassioned love song, but in reality it's an ashling, or a vision poem, and a strict political allegory where the waiting woman represents Ireland itself. Because the ruling British government outlawed overt expressions of Irish nationalism, poets used these romantic tropes to dodge censorship. The lover's intense devotion mirrors a rebel's fight for his country. The lyrics are packed with veiled political codes. When the singer mentions Roman wine and Spanish ale, they are explicitly referencing the military and religious reinforcements the Irish Catholics hoped to receive from the Pope and Spain to fight the English. The song left a massive footprint on Irish culture. In 1846, poet James Clarence Mangan translated it into Dark Rosaleen. Over a century later, legendary composers like Sean O'Reilly anchored his sweeping 1959 orchestral score for the historical film Misha Era around a Munster variation of its melody. There are loads of versions of this song, Thin Lizzy, the Wolf Tones, to name a few, but Sinead O'Connor's for me stands out as the best. Her voice is suited for the lyrics, so I've links in the description for that one too, along with the others as well. But now, before I go on a wee rant about something, can you please like the video? But if you don't want to hit that like button on the video, maybe after you hear my rant, and you agree with me, please consider liking the video and comment your thoughts as well. I want you to think of this. You're here watching this because you either love Irish music, the rich history, or you want to make fun at my attempts at pronouncing Irish. YouTube is the biggest video platform in the world. It's also an archive in a way as well. You can go on and listen to any of the performances of these songs that I've mentioned. However, right now, Róisín Dubh, performed by the Wolf Tones, has under 10,000 views. Sinead O'Connor's has a respectable 150,000 views. Thin Lizzy has 450,000 views. But do you know who's on top? It's not a real person anyway. The winner for the most watched version of Róisín Dubh is an AI music channel. And get this, it's not even the same lyrics and it's not even the same melody. And the weird thing is, the amount of people commenting who think it's a real song is just shocking. This is dangerous territory in a way. For example, when I was researching about Argentine traditional music for my last video, can you guess what the songs were that I first stumbled across in Google search? You guessed it. AI generated music hitting Argentina. It was surprisingly hard to find the real thing as well. Look, my email is open. We have a Discord server too. If you're listening to songs and you're not sure it's a real person or AI generated, just send me a message, send me an email, or post it in the Discord. Even post it in the YouTube community. The more educated we are on it, the better we can make a conscious decision to listen to it or to avoid it completely. Do you agree? Do you disagree? How do you feel about an AI song that has absolutely nothing to do with the original Róisín Dubh outperforming Thin Lizzy, the Wolf Tones, and Sinead O'Connor combined? Tell me in the comments. But anyway, that's it for the video. Thanks so much for watching. Before we go, here's a huge shout out to the channel members. Your names are up there on screen now. Thanks a million for your continued support. I really appreciate it as always. And let's all extend a very warm welcome to our new members as well. Music is a Heartbeat, BC Sellers 1953, Greg McKinnon, Magoo 4381, The Captain UK, Brian Tonkin, and The Midnight Bro. Thanks very much for joining. I'm glad to have you all here. And check out the shop there as well, where there is an absolute ton of Irish music inspired bits and pieces that you can buy. Have a look when you've got time. And sure, if you want any custom designs done, please give me a shout and I can work with you to get the design that you absolutely love. Finally as well, if you'd like to join the Discord server and chat with all like-minded people about Irish music and Irish history and whatever else you want, there's a link in the description there as well for you. But anyway, that's it all from me. I hope you enjoyed the video and the rant. Feel free to tear apart my Irish pronunciations in the comments. But anyway, I hope you all have a great day. Slán go fóill. Cheers.